We had absolutely no idea what people were going to do with these things when we started out. Matter of fact, the two people it was designed for was Woz and myself, because we couldn't afford to buy a computer kit on the market.
Little did they know that Apple would revolutionize the world years after that.
Their first product was the Apple I.
Now I'd like to show you Macintosh in person.
Right, we have the Macintosh Portable Macintosh PowerBook 100.
So I'll just pick this one album, and I can just pick anything I want. So just pick the first song.
Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen. To deliver apps to the iPhone. That's what it looks like. Very thin.
The next generation of MacBooks.
A whole new era for the Mac.
The new design comes in 4 Pro finishes.
The era of spatial computing is here.
Apple's success story. The genesis of Apple. In the vibrant heart of 1970s Silicon Valley, a place where innovation thrived, 2 young visionaries were about to embark on a journey that would forever change the world of technology. Steve Jobs, a Reed College dropout with a keen interest in electronics and a vision to change the world, and Steve Wozniak, a brilliant engineer and University of California, Berkeley dropout, found common ground in their shared passion for building something great from the ground up. The garage of Steve Jobs' childhood home became more than just a parking space. It was the cradle of Apple's inception. Here, driven by a vision to make computing accessible to the masses, the duo set to work on what would become the Apple I. This was the beginning of a journey that would revolutionize the tech industry. Ever wondered how Apple got its name? After a visit to an apple orchard, Steve Jobs found inspiration. The name was perfect, fun, spirited, and not intimidating. A reflection of what they aimed to achieve. Did you know that the first Apple computers were sold for $666.66? Find this suspicious? Before you jump to any satanic conclusions, rest easy. According to Steve Wozniak, this numerical choice was less about the underworld and more about a preference for repeating digits. Let us know in the comments if you believe this or if there's more to the story than just numbers. The Macintosh Era. In the early 80s, the world of computing was a labyrinth of text-based commands, accessible only to those fluent in the language of machines. Then came the Macintosh in 1984, a beacon of change. It introduced the revolutionary concept of a graphical user interface, welcoming users with friendly icons and a mouse to guide them. Apple didn't just launch a new product. It invited the world to interact with technology in a way never seen before.
When Apple went public, it was the largest new stock offering, initial public offering in 15 years.
Before we dive deeper into the Macintosh story, let's take a moment to appreciate a significant milestone in Apple's journey. Back in 1980, Apple's initial public offering became a historic event. The IPO skyrocketed, creating more wealth than any other company since Ford in 1956. It wasn't just a financial triumph. It was a clear signal that Apple was set to redefine the tech world, turning about 300 of its employees into millionaires overnight. This financial success laid the groundwork for Apple's ambitious projects ahead. The launch of the Macintosh turned heads, especially with its 1984 Super Bowl commercial by Ridley Scott. More than just an ad, it was Apple's bold statement. They were here to shake up the usual dull computing scene. Shown just twice on TV, this ad made a lasting impression, showing the world a new way to think about tech.
On January 24, Apple Computer will introduce Macintosh. And you'll see why 1984 won't be like 1984.
Despite the groundbreaking launch, Apple faced turbulence within. The Macintosh's initial sales were not as expected, leading to internal conflicts. In 1985, a power struggle ensued, culminating in Steve Jobs leaving the company he co-founded. It was a pivotal moment, marking the end of an era and the beginning of a long road ahead for Apple without Jobs. The future of Apple hung in the balance. What happened next was something nobody could have predicted.
Make sure to hit like and subscribe to Company Compass.
Return of Jobs and Reinvention. The mid-90s found Apple at a crossroads, battling declining sales and an uncertain future. Amidst this turmoil, a familiar face prepared to make a triumphant return. Steve Jobs, the visionary who once steered Apple's early successes, was on the verge of a dramatic comeback.
You'll be able to get your hands on one in a few hours. This is what it looks like. It's called Next Station.
After leaving Apple, Jobs didn't stand still. He founded Next, a computer platform development company that targeted higher education and business markets. Meanwhile, his investment in Pixar, a then struggling animation studio, would eventually redefine animated storytelling. But Apple's struggles without Jobs were deepening, and in a twist of fate, Apple acquired Next in 1997, paving the way for Jobs' return.
So please join with me now and welcome, from Apple Computer, Steve Jobs.
Jobs' return to Apple wasn't just a reunion. It was the catalyst for a renaissance. With Jobs back at the helm, Apple wasted no time. The company introduced the iMac in 1998, a bold statement of design and functionality that captured imaginations and reignited Apple's brand. But that was just the beginning.
Right? So let me go down to the end. I'll pick Yo-Yo Ma. And here's all Yo-Yo Ma's albums. It lists all the albums. I only have one on here.
The return of Steve Jobs sparked a period of unprecedented growth and innovation for Apple. The introduction of the iPod in 2001, followed by the iTunes Music Store, revolutionized the music industry. Under Jobs' leadership, Apple wasn't just surviving, it was setting new benchmarks for the entire tech industry. The revolution of telecommunication.
Rich Demiro with CNET TV in New York City at the Apple Store, where the iPhone is set to launch later today at 6 o'clock.
This one right here, it's mine. It is mine for real.
In 2007, Apple once again stood at the forefront of innovation, but this time, the stakes were even higher. Enter the iPhone, a device that Steve Jobs proudly declared would reinvent the phone, and it did. The iPhone wasn't just a new product, it was a revolution. With its intuitive touchscreen interface, internet connectivity, and all-in-one entertainment system, the iPhone fundamentally changed how we interact with technology, setting a new standard for the smartphone industry. The innovation didn't stop with the iPhone. In 2008, Apple introduced the App Store, transforming the iPhone into a platform where developers could share their creations with the world. Then came the iPad in 2010, redefining the tablet market with its sleek design and powerful capabilities. Not to forget the MacBook Air redesign, which set new benchmarks for what ultra-portable computing could be. Apple wasn't just evolving, it was leading the charge in shaping the future of technology. Quick fact, Apple was the first company to officially integrate emojis into their keyboard, turning these playful icons into a global language. It's not just chat, it's Apple changing how we express ourselves worldwide.
Death of a man who literally changed the way we live our lives every day. Steve Jobs, the visionary founder and leader of Apple Computer, has died at the age of 56. A giant in business, technology, and entertainment, Steve Jobs had been battling pancreatic cancer for 8 years.
As we celebrate these groundbreaking innovations, it's important to honor the visionary who made them possible. Steve Jobs, co-founder of Apple, passed away in 2011. His visionary leadership not only reinvented telecommunication, but also changed the way we connect with technology and each other. Under the guidance of Tim Cook, Apple continues to honor Jobs' legacy, pushing the boundaries of innovation while maintaining his vision for a technology-enriched future. Wearables, services, and innovation. Jump to 2015, and Apple unveils the Apple Watch, transforming the humble watch into a must-have for health and connectivity. Next up, AirPods hit the scene in 2016, redefining what wireless audio could be. Seamless, effortless, stylish. But Apple's innovation didn't just stop at hardware. Enter Apple Music and Apple TV Plus, services that bring a world of music and stories right to your fingertips. It's Apple ensuring that the journey with their products is as compelling as the devices themselves.
M1 is a breakthrough chip for the Mac. Our approach with M1 was to deliver industry-leading performance and features while relentlessly focusing on power efficiency. As a result, M1 delivers a giant leap in performance per watt, and every Mac with M1 will be transformed into a completely different class of product. M1 is the first system on chip, or SoC, for the Mac.
2020 marked a pivotal year for Apple with the introduction of Apple Silicon, their own custom chip. This move to in-house chip manufacturing meant Apple could finally tune the performance and efficiency of their devices like never before. It's about more than just speed. It's about seamless integration across all Apple devices, ensuring they work together flawlessly. Apple Silicon represents a leap into a future where Apple controls every aspect of the user experience. Legacy and future. Over the decades, Apple has not just been a participant in the tech revolution, it has been its vanguard. From the personal computer era to the age of smartphones and beyond, Apple's knack for innovation has consistently pushed the boundaries of technology, design, and global culture. Apple's products do more than fill a need. They anticipate the future, setting trends that others strive to follow. Apple has always been one step ahead, foreseeing and shaping the future of technology. Whether it's revolutionizing music with the iPod, redefining communication with the iPhone, or making powerful computing accessible with the iPad, Apple has a unique way of turning complex technology into essential parts of our daily lives. Their commitment extends beyond innovation, pushing forward on environmental sustainability and making technology accessible to all.
When you put on Apple Vision Pro, you see your world and everything in it. Your favorite apps live right in front of you, but now they're in your space. This is Vision OS, Apple's first ever spatial operating system. It's familiar, yet groundbreaking. You navigate with your eyes. Simply tap to select, flick to scroll, and use your voice to dictate.
And now, as we look to the horizon, Apple is at the forefront once again with the introduction of the Apple Vision Pro. This leap into virtual reality represents Apple's latest frontier, promising to redefine our interaction with the digital world. With the Vision Pro, Apple isn't just joining the VR race, it's setting a new standard, showing us a glimpse of the future where our digital and physical realities merge seamlessly. As Apple continues to innovate, the legacy of Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak endures, driving the company to explore uncharted territories. The future of Apple, ripe with potential for technological advances, remains as exciting as ever. With its eyes set on virtual reality and beyond, Apple proves time and again that it's not just part of the tech revolution, it's leading it. What new revolutions will Apple lead? Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure, the world will be watching. And on that note, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this journey. Last week, we uncovered the controversies surrounding tech giants like Meta and Snapchat in the dark side of social media. If that piqued your interest, you might want to check out that video below. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell to stay updated on our next story, where we'll dive into another intriguing business tale. Thank you for your support and curiosity.
Make sure to hit like and subscribe to Company Compass.